Today started off a little rough. A little rough start today. I got some Doordash delivered. And it did not go well. John, I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever had this happen to you where the driver starts asking you for more money before they even picked up your order? I don't tip like low. I tip really well. I was a little surprised when I got this message. And it was, "Hi Jeff, hope you are doing well. Just picked up your order." They hadn't yet, by the way. I could see that they were still driving there. And then it said, "Is too much traffic. If you let me ask, I would kindly ask for some tips. It is totally 3 miles, 24 minutes." So I tipped $10 on a $30 order. I tipped $10 on a $30 order. It's not far from my house. It's suburb 3 miles. It's not city 3 miles, so it's not like, you know, a bunch of like red lights and lights or whatever. They said, "Thank you for choosing me as your dasher." And then responded right after, "I mean, $9 not bad for 3 miles, but traffic make it worse. Thank you." So I did a quick look, and I saw there was no traffic at all. On my GPS, at least. I checked Google Maps. I checked Apple Maps. Both of them said nothing. So I was like, that's kind of weird, right? That's kind of weird. I don't understand what's happening here. I'm like, okay, that's strange. I've never had someone do that before, but whatever. Maybe it's just something they do to try to see if they can get extra money, right? Which is kind of a little up and a little bit of a hassle, but it gets worse. So now I'm a little suspicious, right? Because I've never had someone do that before. So what I got was some eggs and toast with some hash browns, and I got a frap, which is like kind of like a milkshake, right? I was immediately suspicious of the food because I didn't message him back and I didn't add more tip. So I'm like, I wonder if it's been tampered with. I went up. I was very careful when I picked up the food because like you left it at the door. And I want you to tell me if you think I'm crazy or if you think I'm actually spot on with this. So I picked up the drink and I looked at it and it looked funny. It looked like it had been sloshed to one side, like it had like fallen over. But not enough that like it'd fall over, because I was going to check for spit. That's what I was going to check for. So I took the cover off, and I noticed that the entire lid was clean. The part that's sloshed, that the lid still would have covered because it's an airtight seal, like it's like the sealed there. It went over the lip. It like spilled over it, like as if they took a sip. So I took a little vid, and I want you to tell me, what do you think? So this is the side, obviously, that didn't, like, spill at all. Doesn't spill at all. And then this is the side that looks like, obviously, you know, it was, like, spilled up on. That doesn't look like it, like, just fell over. That looks like it was, because it goes up, right? It's not like it just, like, sloshed. It was, like, a little bit. So, yeah. In my opinion, that's a sip. So I didn't know what to do right away. I was like, dude, do I report this dude? I don't want to like ruin this dude's life. I don't want to like make him lose his job. But I thought about it and I was like, you know, I'm not really the like my mom was a single mom and grew up on tips. So I understand how important tipping is, right? Like I understand people live on their tips. So I tip pretty damn well. And so I was already kind of annoyed and I was like, wait a minute. If they're doing that to other people and probably trying to scam them, and then they probably took a sip of it, you know, if it was like a soda, I would have never been able to tell. And I wonder if they do this to other people. So I reported it. So I ordered a thing with Doordash. They called me and we talked about it over the phone. And I told them I had photos, I had videos, all this stuff. They were pretty good about it. And they were like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, honestly, dude, I don't even give a the money. Like, I'm like, yeah, you probably should give me a full refund because I'm not touching any of this food. It's not even about the money. It's more of like, to me, it seemed like they were obviously trying to scam with the tips, and then either was just like petty about it and was like, I'm gonna take a sip. But what if this person had like a disease, right? Or like with sickness or something that could be transferred? They were like, okay, we're gonna like elevate this and whatever. So they said they're gonna contact me back again within 24 hours. I don't know what for. I don't know if they want to do a follow-up. I don't know what they want to do. But yeah, that was not the most fun start to my morning, to say the least. And I felt really bad because, like, I don't want to ruin someone's life over that, you know? But, like, at the same time, like, I respect the hustle and the tip thing. Like, I don't like it. I don't think you should do that. But, like, I get people are struggling. But for that, like, dude, you could literally get someone killed, especially if someone's like immunocompromised. Nah, dude, I couldn't. I couldn't hold back. I feel bad. It's his fault. I know, but like, maybe it's just like the humanity side of me is I don't want people to like lose their livelihoods. You know what I mean? But I still did it. Still reported it. Well, yeah, I did. I'm just me telling you how I feel, chat, is different from my actions. So yeah, I reported it. We'll see if they call me back or send me something back in the next day or so. But yeah, I guess PSA to you: be extra careful when shit gets sent to you now, or whenever, because at least for a long time during the pandemic, it was great because they would put those like seals on, and if the seal was broken, then you would know the food was touched. But now it's like post-COVID, nobody gives a anymore. Kind of wish they'd bring that back. You're at 8 tamper-proof seals, and B, shouldn't DoorDash pay enough that you don't need tips to live? DoorDash doesn't really pay like that though. DoorDash kind of, at least in my knowledge, is kind of like a 1099 service, kind of like how I am as a streamer. Like, let's say tomorrow all of you just decided to unsub, you know, and I stopped running ads, Twitch wouldn't pay me a dime, right? So DoorDash kind of the same way, so I can kind of understand that.
All in the days.
But man, dude, you know, it's. You keep the drink for DNA test, Cap? Nah, I dumped it. It's a milkshake, so it's gonna start smelling soon. So I just dumped it. 2 hours for never came. Tried calling message. Oh, yeah, I've had that happen. Oh yeah, I've 100% had them yoink food before. You know, I get it. If they yoink it, it's like, oh, whatever. But actively trying to give it to me and take my money and take part of it, nah, that's. Did you get new food? No. No, I did not. The place closed. The place I ordered from closed at, I think, 3. So, yeah. Shit out of luck. Dude, I would have rather them just yoink the drink than take a sip and try to give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to you up for that. Oh god, what the hell is that? This text conversation related to DoorDash order. Haha! Question mark. I take a bite. Bro, what? Same energy. God damn. Oh, man. This was the conversation before they'd even left with the food from the place, asking for more money. Which I tipped 10 bucks for a 3-mile trip, dude. I think that's very f***ing fair. I don't know, dude. It's 3 miles in the suburbs. Dude, 3 miles in the suburbs is like a 10-minute drive. It's not 3 miles in the city. 3 miles in the city is like red light, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light. 3 miles in the suburb is like straight, red light, straight, red light. Here, you know? Well, that's why I was like, nah, I call bullshit. There's no way there was traffic. I looked it up. There was no traffic anywhere. I had some dude get mad at me once for $20 on a $50 order. Nah, I would have took that back. I'm that petty. At that point, I'm actually that petty. Eggs, toast, and fry for $3. Jesus. 1, New England. 2, it was a small little diner. It's a good diner, though. Makes good food. Tastes good. Which is why I was really sad that I couldn't order it. Or I couldn't order it again. Is the tipping problem that big in the U.S. or the breeds all the other countries that use it? From Mexico, I really tip. Yeah, no, you have to. You literally have to. Okay, the reason why it's gotten out of control in America is because you get asked to tip everything now. Like the big funny meme one is, you know how like there's a lot of self-checkout now? The self-checkout counters will ask you, would you like to tip? And it's like, who am I tipping? Like, wait, what do you mean? Who am I tipping? Like I scanned it myself, I bagged it myself. Who am I tipping? Actually, you know what? Let me ask you a question, okay? I have a question for you. Ready? You are like, hey, I want some food tonight. You pick up the phone and you call Chili's or whatever local place near you, right? You pick up the phone, you're like, hi, can I get a blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, the total will be 27, and you're like, oh, okay, thanks. And so you get in the car and you drive to the restaurant. You get in the car and you drive to the restaurant. You walk inside and you're like, hey, I'm here to pick up this order. And they bring the order out to you and hand it to you in a bag. And they're like, thank you so much. Do you tip? See, I actually agree with most of you. I say no. Because there's no service being provided. I understand they're bringing it from the back to the front, but that's not service. That's that's just me not walking to the kitchen to go pick up the food. Like, if I could, I would walk into the kitchen and pick up the food, but I'm not legally allowed to do that. So I'm paying for the food. I'm paying for what's coming out. No, you don't tip? I worked in a restaurant and they were always like, are you sure? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'll give you a good example. I picked up some food recently from Texas Roadhouse. It wasn't recently, actually. It was like a month ago. I haven't gone back since. And they gave me the thing. It's like, would you like to tip? And I was like, no. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I order the food. I show up at the restaurant. I tell you the name. You literally, I'm not joking. There's a counter. Like, there's like the meat counter where you like go up and pick your meat. And then there's a counter above it in which they literally turn around, reach forward, pick it up off the counter, turn around and hand it to you. They don't even move. They hand it right to you. And it's like, would you like a tip? And I'm like, no, you just turned around and handed it to me. Like, that's the kitchen staff did all the work, which is like what you're paying for, right? So that's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I think people talk about with like America's tipping culture getting out of hand, because you shouldn't have to tip for that. The restaurant should be paying enough that them turning around, picking it off the counter and handing it to me should be the living wage, not me paying extra for them to hand me it, you know? Well, your tip's not going to the kitchen. Tips aren't tips typically distributed between, so it depends on where you work, I think, but like, if it's like a pooling tips, it like, part of it goes to like busboys / like, dishwashers, but it doesn't actually go to like the chefs, right? Servers, bussers, and hosts, yeah. It's not to like actual kitchen staff, right? Am I correct in that? In my work, we split between everybody. I work at a chef, and it's between everyone. So I think it probably depends on the place. No, if it's inside the restaurant at the card reader, it goes to the restaurant, not staff. Really? But do you understand? Okay, the point is, do you understand what's happening right now? Unless you worked in that industry, you have no f***ing clue.